In this lesson, we will use algebra to solve real-world problems. If Ray has R dollars and Joe has $12 more than Ray, how much do they have all together in terms of R? We'll start with a sentence answer. They have blank dollars together. So if Ray has R dollars, we'll start off with Ray, and we have to add Joe to him. So Ray has R. Joe has 12 more than Ray, so he must have R plus 12. And then I've got to add all of those together. Simplified, that is 2R plus $12 all together. Now if Ray has $60, how much do they have all together? Our sentence answer says they have blank dollars all together. We will substitute the 60 for the R, so 2 times 60 plus 12 would be 120 plus 12 equals $132 altogether when Ray has $60. In this problem, a woman has D dollars in her wallet. She withdraws $100 from an ATM machine and spends a third of the total on clothes. How much money does she have left in terms of D? We'll begin with a sentence answer, which will say she has blank dollars left in terms of D. We will need to take the amount of her total money and subtract what she spends. Well, if she started with D dollars and then withdrew $100 from an ATM, withdrawing makes you think subtract, but she actually puts that $100 together with her D. So she adds $100. So that's the total money that she has. Well, she spends a third of that total. So there's her total. Spending a third of it means I need to multiply this by a third, or dividing by 3 is the same thing. So I'd have to subtract that. We could have also just found this third that she spent and then taken it times 2, because she would have 2/3 left. There's always different ways to do it. So this would be the amount that she has left in terms of D. The next question is, if D, what she had in her wallet to begin with, is $20, how much money does she have left? So she had $20 in her wallet, plus the $100 she withdrew, gave her $120. Then if she spent a third of that $120, 120 divided by 3 is 40. 120 minus 40 is $80. So she has $80 left. Now we will use algebraic expressions to compare two different quantities and eventually to solve equations. In this one, Andy and Kathy each have some pencils. Andy has his pencils in 4 boxes. 3 of the boxes have an equal number of pencils. There are P pencils in each of the 3 boxes. The remaining box has 3 pencils fewer. Kathy has 2 boxes of pencils, each with P pencils, and 13 extra pencils. Write the number of pencils Andy and Kathy each have in terms of P. We'll start with our sentence answer. Andy has P pencils in each of 3 boxes. Well, that means he would have 3 times P pencils in those boxes. In the remaining box, he has 3 pencils fewer. So his 4th box would have P minus 3 pencils. And I need to add those 2 things together to get his total pencils. So he would have a total of 4P minus 3 pencils. Kathy has 2 boxes of pencils, each with P pencils, and 13 extra pencils. So she's got 2 boxes with P pencils each, or 2 P pencils, and another 13 pencils besides that. So her expression is 2P plus 13. Let's say that P equals 9. In that case, who has more pencils? Our sentence answer will say blank has more pencils if P equals 9. Well, all I have to do now is substitute 9 in for Andy. So he would have 4 times 9, which is 36, minus 3. He would have 33 pencils. And Kathy would have 2 times 9, which is 18. And 18 plus 13 is 31 pencils. So Andy has more pencils if P equals 9. Using the same situation of a second ago, we want to find out now for what value of P will Andy and Kathy have the same amount of pencils. So just a minute ago, Andy had 4P minus 3 pencils, and Kathy had 2P plus 13 pencils. We want to find out when they have the same number of pencils, so when they're equal, what will P equal to make them both be equal, to have the same amount. So we're going to solve this algebraic expression, or this algebraic equation, for P. So our sentence answer is Andy and Kathy will have the same number of pencils when P equals blank. To solve this, we need to keep both sides of this equation balanced. So whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other side. And I want to get my like terms, my 4P and my 2P together, and my minus 3 and plus 13 together. And I want to try and stay away from making negatives or going below 0. So we're going to start by subtracting the maximum amount of variables from both sides we can. So there's 2 P's on both sides. So we're going to subtract 2P from both sides, because that'll make these go to 0 over here. This side will be 2P. We still have the minus 3, and then equals 13 left here. Now to get my minus 3 and my 13 together and stay positive and not go any further in the hole like minus 3 is, I'm going to add 3 to both sides. And so this 3 in the hole plus 3 makes 0. So I've got 2P equals 13 plus 3 makes 16. So 2 times what number of pencils will give me 16? Well, to undo multiplication, I divide, because 2 divided by 2 is 1P, and 16 divided by 2 is 8. So when P equals 8, they will have the same number of pencils. I could have also done trial and error up here. I could have tried P equals 1 to see if they came out the same. I could have tried P equals 2, P equals 3. But finally, if I had P equaling to 8, then Andy would have 4 times 8, which is 32, minus 3. 32 minus 3 is 29. And Kathy would have 2 times 8, which is 16. And 16 plus 13 is also 29. So trial and error would have eventually led me to P equaling 8 for them to have the same number of pencils also. Pause the video while you answered these two questions. In the first one, Lenny has 2y minus 7 marbles. Max has y plus 9 marbles. If y is 18, who has more marbles? Second question then is, for what value of y will Lenny and Max have the same numbers of marbles? Pause the video and find the answers. I'll start with the sentence answers. Blank has more marbles if y equals 18, and Lenny and Max will have the same number of marbles when y equals blank. So in the first one, I'm simply going to substitute 18 for the y on both sides. So for Lenny, 2 times 18 is 36, and 36 minus 7 is 29. Max has 18 plus 9, which is 27. So Lenny has more marbles if y is 18. to know when they will have the same number of marbles, I could do trial and error. I could try some different values for y in each of these cases until both answers come out the same. Or I can set them equal to each other. 2y minus 7 equals y plus 9. Combine my like terms until I have what y equals. So to combine like terms, I have a maximum of 1y on each side. So to keep it equal, I'm going to subtract that 1y from each side. That leaves me 1y over here minus 7 equals 0 plus 9, which is 9. To get my minus 7 and plus 9 together and get y by itself, if I'm 7 in the whole, I've got to add 7, which will give me y plus 0 equals 9 plus 7, which is 16. So when y equals 16, they will have the same number of marbles. I could have done trial and error also, but I still would have come up when Lenny has 2 times 16, which is 32 minus 7. That's 25. And Max, if I had y equals 16, 16 plus 9 equals 25 also. So when y was 16, that's what gave them both 25 marbles.